Hello everyone. Stand-up comedy is already a 100-year art form. It's crazy to think that the art form is only 100 years old and not older. Within those 100 years, there have been very few comics that have been heralded as the greatest stand-up comedian of all time. One of these comics that have been considered the greatest stand-up comedian of all time is the late great George Carlin. Many people would argue that Richard Pryor is the greatest of all time, and I understand that. Pryor was a groundbreaking and innovative comedian that paved the way for hundreds and probably thousands of comedians. Carlin, on the other hand, was a workhorse that constantly worked at stand-up comedy and had 20 albums/specials released. Also, his above and beyond observations, social critique, wit, and knowledge of the English language made him an extraordinary comedic talent. Before I deep dive into Carlin's comedy and his influence on comedy, I'm going to give some facts about him. George Carlin was born on May 12, 1937 in New York City, U.S., and died on June 22, 2008 in Santa Monica, California. His full name is George Dennis Patrick Carlin. He was an American stand-up comedian, actor, social critic, and author. The comics that influenced him are Lenny Bruce, Richard Pryor, Jonathan Winters, Wirt Saul, Danny Kaye, Nichols and May, Jerry Lewis, the Marx Brothers, Spike Jones, Ernie Kravitz, and the Ritz Brothers. In 1956, Carlin began working as a disc jockey at the radio station KJO in Shreveport, Louisiana, where he was stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base in Bossier City, Louisiana. A year later, he received a general discharge from the military. 2 years later, while DJing at radio station KXOL in Fort Worth, Texas, he met fellow DJ Jack Burns and formed a comedy duo with him. Sorry for the mess up there. After having successful performances at a beat coffee house called The Cellar, they both headed for California in February of 1960. After having success in California as a team for 2 years, they parted ways to pursue their own careers, but remained great friends. In the 1960s, Carlin started to play various characters on TV variety shows, and was a frequent performer/guest host on The Tonight Show under Jack Paar, and later Johnny Carson. In the early years of Carlin's stand-up, his material was clean and conventional. His appearance was also conventional for the time as well, with him wearing suits and short cropped hair. With the counterculture movement kicking in the mid-1960s and the impact that Lenny Bruce had on him, Carlin started to change his routine and appearance. He started to perform comedy that was observational, satirical, and anti-establishment. For his appearance, he grew his hair long, grew a beard, wore earrings, and usually dressed in t-shirts and blue jeans. In the early 70s, Carlin's 7 Dirty Words caused a Supreme Court legal battle between the FCC and radio station WBAI. The Supreme Court sided with the FCC in a near vote of 5-4. Despite the FCC winning legally, they didn't win culturally in the long run. With the rise of the internet, streaming services, and that and that television has become more vulgar than before, FCC regulations are looking outdated. Also, Carlin's 7 words became a symbol of free speech rather than something that was seen as obscene. Over the years, Carlin would push his change style of comedy even further, and because of that, he would be known for his dark comedy, thoughts on politics, the English language, psychology, religion, and taboo subjects. All this would influence countless comedians that include Louis C.K., Dave Attell, Chris Rock, Bill Burr, Jerry Seinfeld, Louis Black, Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, Bill Maher, Patrice O'Neal, Adam Carolla, Colin Quinn, Stephen Wright, Mitch Hedberg, Russell Peters, Bo Burnham, Jay Leno, Ben Stiller, Kevin Smith, Chris Rock, Chris Rush, Rob McConnelly, and Jim Jeffries, and countless others. He even has influenced me more so intellectually rather than comedically. He's a great role model of how to be a comedian and an intellectual. Well, we're at the end of this video, and if you liked it, make sure you click the like button, share it, and if you want more like it, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll probably be doing a video about Richard Pryor next, and after him, Lenny Bruce. Well, I'm Vaughn Wesley, and have a good day. Bye.